Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is season 2 of 7 levels. I'm so happy you guys are here. I really hope you guys enjoyed the last video with Mower. It was really great. There should be a button somewhere up here that you guys can go check it out. I loved that conversation. Really cool guy. Go check it out. I just want to take a second to thank you all for making this thing possible. Again, I always say, if you guys tell me who you want to see interviewed, I will reach out to them, and it really helps me on my end too. If you tell them, hey, you should check out this interview, it's a really fun thing. I'm happy to interview anyone who you guys are interested in, and I've proven that. I've asked to a lot of people in the last season who I didn't know, of just a stranger asking, hey, you want to do this interview? And it comes across probably pretty awkward, and it probably misses a lot of times, but every once in a while it hits, and I'm really stoked about that. And that's kind of how today's interview hit. You know, I hit up a stranger to see if they want to do an interview, and they said yes, and so I'm very excited. Without any further ado, let me introduce you all to Lucky Wolf. Lucky Wolf, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, of course. Man, thank you so much for doing this interview. I'm really excited to do it. I know this conversation is going to be really good, but go ahead and take a second to introduce yourself. What kind of stuff could they find on if someone came to your Twitch?
Well, first, let me just say thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I am also really excited. A little bit nervous, but really excited. Um, hi, I am Lucky Wolf. I go by Lucky, and I play almost exclusively Pokemon VGC. That is the competitive side of Pokemon. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I try to learn with every single match, and hopefully we can learn together. If you do stop by, I also, have a dog. She makes guest appearances. She has even played a game on the ranked ladder with a special dog team. She didn't win, but she tried really
Oh,
hard. Yeah, so so pretty much, VGC, meme, fun stuff, all that kind of good stuff. Some good bops, all
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, I was snooping on you for a bit, trying to figure out, try to get an essence from you. So I was looking through all your Twitch clips. Your two of your top Twitch clips that cracked me up. One is with your dog, where you are singing a song about your dog. It's like basically I'm a little teapot, but with your dog. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that one's cute. I like that one. And the other one is I don't know the full context. You can't see the whole match, but basically there is a burned Chansey or Blissey on the other. I can't remember now. And they have one tick of health left, and they're gonna take the burn damage, but they quit before they take it. And you're just so excited. You're like, yeah, get out of here. You're like, it's like super hype, a whole lot of energy. I was like, that's pretty cool. Which that is kind of like I kind of want to ask you a question about that. Uh, this is just like a little icebreaker question, because I have interviewed another woman VGC creator, Izzy 22. Do you know Izzy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're me and Izzy are chill. We she invites me to like Among Us games every once in a while. It's just really fun. And she has been through my gym challenge I was telling you about. She's beat it a couple times. So I'm just always curious to pick the brain of a woman content creator, and then even in the essence of VGC, where there's a whole lot of stuff going on right now about an all women's ladder, all women's tournament, and then of course you have a whole bunch of people like why isn't there an all guys tournament, or why all this kind of stuff. What would you say it's like being a woman in VGC? And as you said, you I've seen like your records and stuff like that. You place high. You battle competitively. Your teams are great and really well built. Not just like not well built for a woman, but they're just really well built. You know what I mean? So, um, what's some like maybe stumbling blocks, or what's that like? Just what's it like?
Um, well, it's kind of an interesting question. So I definitely when I was like gonna start really streaming a lot and content creation, there's definitely, a lot of like backseating that happens. And so when I first started, I think I was and I wish I hadn't been, but I was a little bit I don't know if the word is timid, but I was a little bit too something to say like, "Hey, please stop backseating." Like I didn't have the confidence to say like
Mm,
I trust in my plays, and I would prefer if people didn't backseat and everything like that. And I think it was also I've also grown like as a content creator and as a player enough to say, and this is usually what I say, like I love talking about my games afterward. Like let's talk about what went wrong after, but like let me make my plays so that I can learn. You know, if you backseat and if chat walks me through everything, like I'm not gonna learn. So just I love talking about the match. Like that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here is to break down the plays and talk about teams and talk about the matchup and everything like that. But while I'm playing, uh, please just let me make these plays and then we can discuss afterward. Or after I make the plays, you can even say like maybe, oh, that KO'd, like maybe, if you had dropped an intimidate, like if you had brought your intimidator in, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I think that was the play. Like I love discussing that kind of stuff. That's what makes me a better player. But I think it was largely the amount. I wasn't ready for the amount of backseating, um, because I had made like YouTube content beforehand, just of battles, and that's just me sitting with at the
Mm-hmm.
time my DS, or and just the camera and stuff like that. So I don't think I had been ready for that, uh, but most people are really, really responsive. If I say like, "Hey, let's just discuss after the game," they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, my bad, my bad," and
Yeah.
we move on and we learn.
It is really interesting to see because I've been in different everyone's got their preferences on backseat gaming, right? And so I agree. Like I'm very much like I think the thing that always would get to me is whenever I would click the move, but there's a stream delay, and then they would all tell me to click that move. But then, so like on their end, does it look like, do they think I like am
Mm,
doing the move they said, even though I've
mhm,
already inputted the move and now I'm reading chat, and like waiting on them to respond to like what they're doing that turn? It's like, stuff like that was always like frustrating back when I was in VGC. So yeah, I can level with the backseat thing, or I think um I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like this, but I think the worst is when it comes down to like if what would have happened if there was one more turn in the game. If you've ever gone to time, basically,
mhm.
it was
Oh,
if there was
yeah.
one more turn, and people are arguing with you in chat about like what would have happened, and it's like, I don't know, that always would get to me. But of course, I was doing a lot of viewer battles though, so it's like they're trying to protect what they would say, I'm trying to protect what I would say. But
Mhm.
well, anyways, thanks for talking about that a little bit. I've always just been really curious. I've talked to Izzy a little bit about it, and there's just clearly some adversities, and I imagine there's just some dumbos out there that are probably like, oh, this girl, she can't play games without my help and stuff like that, and feel like they need to push you through it. But I think anyone who takes a second to actually watch you battle will understand that what the heck you're doing. And so I hope if anyone's watching this, like, stop backseating Lucky Wolf, okay? She knows what she's doing. All right.
Yeah,
So
I also I do want to say I feel like genuinely also really lucky. I think for the most part, a lot of my community really does not, and a lot of my community is extraordinarily understanding about that and about discussing afterward, or
yeah,
like everything like that. So I really do, I really really do feel like quite touched about that as
that's
well.
good. Do you think you've grown out of that timidness, timidity, timidness? Do you think you're
Um,
still that word that you couldn't really like
I
land
almost
on?
want to say it was like a lack of confidence. I don't know if lack of confidence equals timid. But I think confidence is still something like it. I struggle with daily.
Mm,
Um, I think I've grown. I think I've grown a lot. I think I have grown a lot, but it is something like lack of confidence is something. Um, no, I still struggle with a lot.
yeah.
And I think I will always struggle with it. But that doesn't mean I can't grow.
Right. Right. We're always growing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, today we are here to play 7 levels. So I'm gonna take a second to explain 7 levels, the background and the rules. It's not like a lot of rules, but and then we're gonna get started. So 7 levels is this game show podcast type thing, or what am I? Oh wait, I usually say gamecast pod show, and it's It's just something that I created to help streamers have a platform to be able to talk about something for a long time without being interrupted by, chat. People, the nature of live streaming, people come in and out. They want to ask you certain questions about what's going on, and so it's hard. It's hard to talk for a long period of time about one certain thing. And so I thought I could put together this interview so that we could have some time to talk about some things and to really, at the end of the day, the only goal is that you and I have a good conversation. And I know we're gonna have one today. So with that being said, Lucky Wolf, are you ready for 7 levels?
I
Yep.
am ready.
Okay. Lucky Wolf, your first question of 7 levels is, what is your favorite day of the week?
My favorite day of the week. This is gonna be such a blah answer. It's gotta be Friday or Saturday.
Friday or Saturday?
Um, yeah, like Friday, I love it because so I usually stream Monday through Friday. So Friday, I love it. Get to wake up, get to stream, and then like my husband. I don't know why I'm pointing. He's downstairs. Anyway, my husband works until 5, so it's like I get to stream, I get to walk the dog, I get to have some time to myself, and then he's off, and we get to nice dinner or something like that. So Friday's a great day. Hey, you get to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
Also a great day.
Yeah. That's a good pick. How long have you been married for?
Um, we have been married. It'll be 2 years this summer. We have been together. I think it's 11 years this year.
Holy cow. Y'all have been together
So
for a long time.
yeah, yeah.
Congrats. That's a really
Thank you
that's a
very
really
much.
awesome like achievement to be with someone for that long. What would you say his favorite day of the week is?
Probably Saturday more than Friday because I don't because of the sleeping in. He's not a morning person, so the 9 to 5 life
Mm.
can be a little bit difficult. So I think the sleeping in,
Mm.
100% Saturday.
So what's the worst day of the week?
Tuesday, easy.
How come Tuesday?
Well, Monday, you're still like living off the high of the weekend. And then Tuesday, it's like you are in the week. You're really in there. You have to make it through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then finally Friday. No.
Yeah. uh if you were to add a day to the week, would you put a weekend day in the middle of the week or add on to the total weekend?
That's a big one. I'm going to have to say weekend day in the middle of the week. I think it would be a nice reprieve.
Yeah, good little
Um,
break. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then you still have the 2 days in a row. So you still have Saturday and Sunday. So that's 2 days in a row. But then you'd have one day. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
I'm really curious. Which one for you?
I like the same thing. Yeah. Actually, I probably go back and forth on it in different, like, depending on like what time in my life I'm in, you know. But
Mm,
I also just like having days where I know I just don't have to wake up tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I could
mm.
just like sleep. And I think it would help me. Um, yeah, I have to go with middle as well. I think it would help me work harder on Tuesdays, like you said. Tuesdays are tough for me too because it's like, Mondays are like meeting days for me, so I just have meetings all day. And then so like my time is already allocated on Mondays, but on Tuesdays it's up to me to get my stuff done. So it's like if I knew I had Wednesday off, or Thursday off, I would work harder on Mondays and Tuesdays for sure. But um, yeah. Well, that's level one. Nice job.
Yes,
Feeling
thanks.
feeling good so far? Yeah.
It's like so you mentioned hot ones. It's like the first wing. Like,
Yeah,
dang, I
you
am feeling good.
you
Thank
made
you.
it through the first wing. Yeah.
I did. I actually
um,
recently did the whole hot ones challenge.
did you? Oh my gosh,
I
that's on my.
did.
I haven't done it yet. But because I want to save it for for like a charity stream. I want to do it on like a charity stream. But how did you feel about it?
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot. I eat a couple of the sauces like just because they taste good. Like a couple of them are genuinely really good. Everyone on Hot Ones always says like Da Bomb is the worst, and I think I do. It's just like the level between the one before and then Da Bomb is just like
So much higher.
unmatched.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm.
Like the last stab, obviously when you do it, you have to put like a ton on. That's the point. So it's pretty spicy. Um, okay, I was okay. But like I also don't have a high spice tolerance, so
Okay.
take it with a grain of salt. But it's spicy.
The hottest thing I've done is the one chip challenge.
Ooh.
I think. Oh, I wonder where I put that box. I kept the box. There's actually really cool artwork on it. But uh, that I did it with my roommates, and that was pretty tough. That was pretty tough. We were all kind of crying, and uh, yeah, one of a one of my roommates threw up, and so he got it basically again,
Oh,
got it again the second time, like, and
oh,
that
that's
was, and
bad.
so I was
Oh,
like
that's
laying in bed
bad.
thinking I was gonna throw up. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And like somehow I just like found a position to where all of a sudden things didn't hurt anymore. I think I
Mm.
just like passed out. Like I just like fell asleep, and so that was yeah. One chip was rough, but you know, speaking of hot ones, do you feel like you've watched like a lot of hot ones, those interviews?
I know how many exist, so I feel like if I say I feel like no, not a lot compared to how many exist, but the last couple years I've watched a decent amount. I feel
Okay.
like that's a fair way to put it.
Well, I'm going to substitute your level 2 question then for what is your favorite Hot Ones interview? Who is your favorite guest?
Tough. Um, it's actually really tough. I think one of the more okay. This might be a little bit of a longer answer, so I apologize in advance.
That's okay. I love the long answers.
So I think one of the most, kind of entertaining. So Gordon Ramsay's been on twice. So I think
Yeah,
his two are like, very vibrant and very
his
entertaining.
are
So
good. Yeah.
that's always fun to watch. I thought Elizabeth Olsen like absolutely crushed it, and I thought he like her. I think he asked her about her various like acting schools, and it was just stuff I had no idea about, and
Yeah.
I found her like answers very fascinating. I like that a lot. I think Aubrey Plaza was like absolutely ridiculous,
Yeah.
and that's the one I reference the most, where she's like, "Should I just pour this milk in my eyes?" And he's like, "No," and then she did. Like that one I reference, I think probably the most.
uh,
Um, I'm sure there's some other. Those are the first three that are coming to mind. I think the toughest one to watch was Margot Robbie because she ate the first wing and she thought it was hot, and I like my heart
it's
was
like,
oh,
yeah. It's like bless your
that
soul.
was a tough one.
It's gonna be a
Yeah,
long day, Margot Robbie. Buckle up.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Um, I'm trying to think.
Dave Grohl's came out 2 weeks ago. I really liked that one. It was pretty
I
good.
actually haven't watched that one yet. I have not watched that one yet.
It's
I
good.
heard the newest one is Courtney Cox. Jordan actually, that's my husband. Jordan actually told me about it. I haven't watched that one yet either. Well, when we're recording this, I think it was the newest one.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched much of the new season, unfortunately. So I might have to do a bit of a binge and catch up at some point.
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through the archives right now and seeing I haven't watched a lot of them either. Like apparently I haven't watched the Tenacious D one, and I bet you that one's hilarious.
But that one's so good. Oh my gosh.
I love
Yeah.
Jack Black, so I can't believe I missed watching that one. But
I
uh
used to listen to Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Like I had that CD in my boombox because I'm old. I used to like listen. I listened to that CD so much.
yeah.
Like I do need to watch that one.
I just watched that movie the other day as like just like a fun like I saw it like chilling on Netflix. I was like, I haven't seen this in forever. Let's see if it holds up. And I was like, it's still pretty funny. So
Mhm.
Jack Black, he's like I don't know. I feel like he's like should be a national treasure. He's so freaking funny. I don't know how
He's
he is so
he's
funny.
really funny.
Have you seen his TikToks?
I actually haven't. I'm actually gonna. I apologize. I'm gonna make a note in my phone to look them up
Like
because that definitely needs to happen.
he's just so absurd with like what he does on TikTok, and it's so I don't know. It's so funny.
Okay,
And
perfect. Okay,
there's that
got it.
trend.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. There's that trend going on TikTok right now where that uses his lines from Nacho Libre. That was just like always funny. Like, and you like it puts like a fake beard on you and stuff like that. It's so funny. But
Oh, I don't
anyways,
think I've seen that, but I'll have to check it out.
yeah, it's funny. Um, So anyway, that's level two. Thank you for answering. I love it when I meet another Hot Ones enthusiast. I love talking about it because like it's just such a good show. It's a good concept, great show. It's basically I've like ripped this show directly off from it. It's just we don't have Hot Ones to share. We don't have hot wings that we can eat together right now. But if we did, this show would be a lot better because I love hot wings. But um, all right, level three. Are you ready?
I think I am.
Your level three question, Lucky. If you had a Pokemon nature, what nature would you be? And I can read off the Pokemon natures for
Hmm.
you really quick if that would help. I'm
I
sure you
may
know
have
most
to.
of them, but
I know a good amount, but I may have to Google up a chart real quick. It's actually funny because on stream I always make jokes about like I'm adamant
yeah.
that I'm not going to be modest about this attack. Like I don't know, I always make very hmm. So there's what I think I am and what I maybe wish I was. Okay, let me see. Um, I have to pick just one. Okay, 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 okay. Uh, like, oh, hmm. Hmm. It's that's kind of tough. Okay, so I think like maybe quirky or gentle, probably.
Hmm.
Probably one of those two. I think I can safely say I wish I was more bold, but I don't think I am. That's something I can work.
Hmm. I like that answer. Again, I told you this in the pre-interview. I really appreciate how self-aware you are. So
Thank you.
I could see those things for you, and I could also hear just based off how you talk about yourself, I could see how you'd say you wish you were more bold. But I would also impart onto you. Um, where was it? I just saw it. I was like, I think, yeah, I think that's her. Bashful. You seem a little.
Oh, bashful.
You seem
Okay.
a little bashful. But not in a bad way. Not like towards like socially awkward bashful, but it's more like you. It's just based off. Hey, anyone watching this video, this is the first time Lucky and I have ever talked. So it's like this is literally basing this off of 20 minutes of conversation. It seems like you probably have a lot to say and aren't saying a lot of it. And I think that's like that's more of like what bashful might be. And honestly, you're like you're vocally gentle, like almost as well. So that makes yeah, I think those all make a lot of sense for you. Um, cool, great answer, great answer.
Thank you.
Um, all right. That means we are off to level four. So, for anyone who's new to the show who has not watched the show before, level four typically when the answers questions start getting a little bit deeper. So we might spend some time on the questions for a little bit longer. I'll probably have some follow up questions for Lucky based off of her answers. Which I love follow up questions because you just like get to pry and pry and pry. And so, uh, your fourth level question, Lucky. What is your favorite memory?
Whoa. My favorite memory. Um, wow, okay. Uh, so I think a memory that I hold really close to my heart um is when so like I said, Jordan and I we've been together for quite some time. So when he told my parents that, and I mean I was there, he told my parents that he planned on proposing to me. Um, and like my mom cried, and it was like we were all on a trip together. We were in England, and there's a place called Land's End, and it's like a cliff. It's like a
Yeah,
cliff face. It's very
I've seen
pretty.
pictures of it. It looks really awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And so I think that is a memory that I hold very close um, to me, certainly. Uh, but like a favorite memory, wow. Okay. Um, I'm trying to think if there's something else that was the first thing that jumped out at me. So maybe that does mean it's my favorite memory. Um,
So you said you
I
were there or you weren't there? Or you just heard about it?
I was
Oh,
there.
you were. Okay.
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was Jordan, I, and my parents. Um, Another very fond memory. No, I think I'm gonna stick with that one. I think I'm
That's
gonna stick with that one.
that sounds like a great one.
It was.
So you guys, how far into y'all's relationship would that have been?
Um, I think we had probably been together six, 6 or 7 years at that point. I think.
Mm.
Uh, 5 or 6. Time is crazy. I think it's five. Like somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Somewhere in there.
So it's not common to date for that long in today's culture. Um, do you think what are some things that you think led you all to be able to date for that long without like pulling the trigger sooner? Although uh I'm not trying to say it's bad to wait that long because like Lydia and I have a really long we're like 4 years. So and
Hmm.
that's even long for today's culture, kind of thing. So um uh what are some things that led you up to that moment of like when I'm sorry, what did you say his name is? Jared?
Oh, Jordan.
Jordan, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Um
That's okay.
what are some key things that led you and Jordan up to that moment where you guys knew that you guys would get married?
Well, I think it's just, so we started dating freshman year in college. Um, so we, dated in college, and then we graduated, and, we moved in to an apartment together and, like lived together and worked and, he continued school and all that kind of stuff. And so I think it's just like living in life and we it so already throughout college is already 4 years. So then I think it probably would have been about 1.5, maybe 2 years after graduated that no, about 1.5. Yeah, about 1.5. Um, that he proposed. So I think just college took up time, and I don't think either of us were ready for marriage. And then I think living together and working slash he continued school and all that kind of stuff, and life just made us ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What an interesting statement. Life will make you ready. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean it was nothing. I don't think there was anything. Oh, we did go on. We actually went. I was working uh, a job like a contractual job, so I knew my contract was ending at X date, and Jordan was in school, and he knew his classes ended at X date, and then his other classes would start. So we both knew we were going to be free for a month, so we just went to Japan for a month because we didn't know.
Oh,
You never know
wow.
what life
Awesome.
holds. Yeah, yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Um, and so you never know what life holds. So we just both thought, well, we have this month, let's take it. Um, and so I think like going on that big trip together, where it was really just the two of us. Um, it was so we did that in the summer, and then he proposed in the winter. So I think like life, just like living life. Um, you know, as partners, and then going on the big trip as partners. Uh, we both. I think we just, it wasn't the proposal wasn't a surprise. I was there when he told my parents and stuff. Um, but I just think we both felt like we were ready.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, man, successfully dating through college. That's like an Xbox achievement, like on like super hard. Like that is like a very rare achievement right there. Uh what is like something, because I think as streamers we know that we have a younger audience like tuning in like every once in a while. What is something you would tell somebody about dating in college? like some
Oh, whoa.
advice.
Whoa. Whew. That's kind of a toughie. I think at least for me, that is that's actually like such a tough question because I don't really think of I don't know, I don't really think of it as like being um an achievement or anything. I don't know. Jordan and I are just two people who enjoy each other's company. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Sorry, my dog came up here.
Oh, it's okay.
Um, uh, you know, um, so I think the biggest yeah, hi. I think the biggest thing is find someone who you feel comfortable being you around and who just makes you feel comfortable, but also who, you can work together to build each other up. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's something that, at least Jordan, I've always tried to do. Uh, so I think finding someone who you can work to be better with, I think would be the biggest thing. But I don't know. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
That's a really tough question.
Well, and the only reason I've worded it as the achievement thing is just like it's very rare that you find people that end up together, like that start dating in college and end up together throughout college. And because like college is such a pivotal point in time for humans to like figure out their autonomy away from their parents and everything like that, and like finding out their identity away from their parents. And there's so much growth happening from that like 18 to 22 time period, or and even further, that it's like uh it's interesting the way you say it about like find someone who you're comfortable being yourself around. Most 18 to 22-year-olds don't even know who the heck they are yet, right?
Mhm.
And so it sounds like there also has to be like another step to that, someone who is willing to let you grow into yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because I
Mhm.
bet you 18-year-old you or 19-year-old you or however old you were when you and Jordan like met or started dating or whatever is not the same person as now. I bet you there's been some defining things that have happened
Mhm.
that you guys had to grow together through. Um, but yeah, it's very impressive, Lucky Wolf. That's awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you. Yeah, I feel extremely lucky um to have met him, and so early in life. That's crazy. Yeah, so I love what you said about that being, a time to grow and things like that. And I think that was one of the things that solidified our relationship was growing together.
Mm, mm.
But,
Well,
I think we grew equally together once we graduated and we were working and living and so I think just being able to grow together, and I think that was one of the biggest things.
yeah, sounds like it. Well, I didn't tell you, but this is actually a part two question.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Your
ready. I'm ready. I'm gonna stretch it out, but I'm ready.
your favorite memory was Jordan talking to your parents about y'all's future and proposal and stuff. Um, what is your least favorite memory?
Ooh, there's some to choose from. Um, Probably my least favorite. Oh my gosh.
Obviously, within the realm of your comfortability that you would share to a stranger and the internet. So,
Yes. Yeah. I think a memory that I don't know if it's my least favorite. I don't know if instead of saying like it's my least favorite memory, um, I think something is that I wish, I could change is, taking for granted people who aren't always going to be there.
mm,
And so I don't have a specific memory or anything like that. Uh, but just when a family member's there, and you just don't appreciate being able to be around them, and then they're gone, and you can't anymore. So I don't know if that's a least favorite memory, but um I think that's something that I wish I could go back and change, or just tell my younger self. I was a child. Like, just tell my younger self, like, just cherish this.
Yeah. Sounds like that's
So,
your least favorite feeling. Um,
mm,
um,
like, overall regret,
yeah,
probably,
yeah.
probably,
Uh,
probably. Oh my gosh, yeah.
um, you know, semi going through a similar thing right now. So I can relate to the thought process of it. I've had to be pretty um because I heard something the other day, and this guy was like, how many? It was like some interviewer. I don't remember who it was. He asked someone. He said like, how many more days do you have left with your mom? Or he said like that. He's just like, how many more years? And the guy was like, I don't know. She's like, 70. So, maybe 10. He's like, okay, well, how often do you see your mom? He's like, I see her about, 4 times a year. And it's like, I was like, okay, so you really only have 40 more times to see your mom. Like, and hearing that perspective is like, oh wow. So I still live in the same town with my parents, so I try to see them weekly or twice a week and get lunch with my dad and stuff like that. And but the the something that I'm very thankful has happened recently is my 90-year-old grandmother just moved to the same town I live in. I live in Oklahoma and she was in New Mexico.
Mm,
So now all of a sudden she's like my I try to make her my top priority for like the person I get to go see during my free time, It's
mhm,
um because hearing of what you've just said and what that guy in that interview was hinting at is like, yeah, you literally I could probably count the times on your hands of how many times you're going to see somebody if you're not actively going to go see them.
mhm.
So, I understand. Do you mind asking do you mind if I ask you who you lost?
Oh, grandparents.
It's yeah.
You know, um, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's something like we are all going to lose our grandparents,
Mhm,
right? So, yeah, I think that's an unfortunate thing to have to realize. Uh and but luckily if we realize it soon enough we can do something about it. So,
mhm,
um something I've had to realize I made a decision, well, yeah, Lioness Heart, that's what I call my fiance when I remember to call her that instead of using her name, which I know I used her name earlier, which it's fine. But um, Lioness Heart and I had to make a decision about where we were going to live because we actually in a semi long distance relationship. She lives in Oklahoma City and I live in Tulsa. And one of the things that it came down to is which parents are healthier. Because both of us are the sibling that are that are probably going to take care of our parents.
mhm,
Um, and unfortunately to have to say this, I'd want both of them to be perfectly healthy so we don't even have to think about it, but that is not the case. My parents are a little bit older than hers and have a couple of, my dad has some health issues and stuff like that. And so um yeah, that's why I say I feel like I'm in like that stage like you're talking about of like having to realize I need to be active about this thing.
mhm.
um
Well, that's really tough. Sorry to hear that you're going through that.
yeah.
That's a tough thing to have to bring up and have to put words to, and everything like that.
Yeah, no, and the hard part is like day if I don't actively think about it, my days will keep going. And so
Mhm,
like it's like a weird thing because it's like it's not like a looming, maybe it is looming. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like it's something that I can like forget about cuz like just cuz I'm human and I'll like I'll be like busting my butt at work and then all of a sudden I'll be like, "Oh, it's been like a week since I went to see grandma. What am I doing?" or whatever, stuff like that. But
mhm,
um, so I have a question for you though.
mhm.
Sorry I babbled for a little bit, but it's
Not at all.
um, you know, if you could relive a memory to make up maybe for this feeling that you have about the losses that you've had, which memory would you relive?
I think it kind of like goes back. I don't think it's one specific memory. I think I wish I could change my mindset. Um,
Mm.
when I was a kid, I think more than anything. Um, yeah,
What
not one specific thing. Just a mindset. I think.
what do you think your mindset was back then?
I just I think lack of understanding of the situation. Uh, you know, led to me missing out on some memories that I could have had, could have made, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. The memories you could have had. That's a
Mhm.
weird thought. That's a weird thought. Well, again, thank you for being so honest with your answers. I really appreciate that,
Yeah,
Lucky
absolutely.
Wolf. That is level 4. How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty
Pretty
good?
good. Yeah,
Okay.
that one was a little spicier. That
I
one
thought,
was a little hotter
yeah.
than the last one.
Four is the bomb. Okay, four is
Mhm.
the bomb, and so from here it's all deep from here. So,
Okay.
um, okay, 5. Ooh, looking through my index of 5th level questions, I got some good ones in here.
Okay.
Um, okay, Lucky, your 5th level question. 5th level question. Uh, Tell me about the first adult confrontation that you've had, or like disagreement, or like what is something that happened that was like really like, oh, this is like something that adults have to like deal with.
Um, I am very, very like I feel okay. Not very, very. I would say I'm decently non-confrontational. Um, but it happened in the workplace. Like one of my jobs, and I'm not going to go into like details or anything, but it just had to do with how one of my coworkers was acting, and we talked it out. We went into because like we where we worked was like a big open area, so we went into an empty office and we talked about it, and I it did make me uncomfortable, that kind of confrontation. But I'm happy we talked about it and we came to a reasonable understanding, and I think it generally helped things in the office definitely move more slowly. But I definitely like I it was just an uncomfortable situation, all things considered.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that was that's probably the big one, I would say.
Do you find yourself wishing that you would, um I don't want to say cause more confrontations, but like, do you find yourself often thinking that something should be said about something but you don't?
Um, Not really, I don't think. Um, I think the things that I'm passionate about and I want to say, I do say, and I kind of leave it at that.
Hmm. So, it's almost like it's more like on your side, you have an easier time of not being bugged about things. And so, is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
Not being bugged. I feel like I'm in a place now where if I'm bugged by something, I just say like it's back to the kind of like the backseating conversation. If I'm bugged by something, then I say, "Oh, hey, please don't do that. We can discuss it after the match." Or if, you know, someone comes in and calls me something that I don't like, I'm like, "Oh, hey, please don't say that. It makes me feel uncomfortable, but you can call me Lucky." And then most people are just like, "Oh, great. Okay." So I know, I think no, I think the things that bother me, I feel comfortable. I think so like I guess it's different because like my stream is my space, so I am feel more comfortable to say things like that. But I guess in like, in an office that's not my space. It was a little bit more difficult, but honestly that confrontation taught me like just talk things out. Like
Hmm.
just go into a room with your coworker and just talk about why they did this way, and then they'll tell you. And I'm, come to a kind of understanding like that.
Hmm.
So as much as it was uncomfortable and I was a little bit surprised by the confrontation, um, no, talking it out with her like made it genuinely better, and it taught me a pretty decent lesson also.
What would you say the lesson is? Just to talk it out, or was there another lesson that you learned?
No, yeah, I think just talk it out.
Okay.
Just just like be honest. And I just told her like I don't understand why you laid it out like this. It makes my job so much harder. And she was like, "Oh, I thought that this was the whatever."
Yeah, yeah.
Just about that kind of stuff. And so then we came to an understanding, and she didn't lay things out like that anymore.
Hmm.
Um, and I would tell her like, "Hey, I have to do this kind of project. So if you lay it out like this, like, can you lay it out like this next time?" And open communication kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Uh, I tell you, so Linus Hart and I are in premarital counseling, and which um we're in a lucky position, I think. Um, we have realized the source of our problematic times between each other, or like rough patches or anything like that, or like any hard or tough conversations, often were rooted in miscommunication. Which means like ideally those awful icky moments that happened usually like should not have happened, right? Like they easily could have just not happened if I would have said more of what I was thinking, or she would have said more of what she was thinking, instead of either one of us having to assume what they were thinking.
Hmm.
So which luckily we've realized most of that before premarital counseling, and so now that we're in premarital counseling they keep telling us that, and we're like, yeah, we know.
Hmm.
Like, we've learned that multiple times now through our conversations. But yeah, I think that's a really awesome thing to point out. Again, I think it's important to know that we as older streamers have younger people in our chat who are going through the things that we will have already gone through. And so I think that's a really good piece of advice. If anyone is listening right now, please take this thing that Lucky has just said, this experience that she just said, talk to people about problems. Okay, don't talk to other people about the problems you have with someone else, because that's gossip, and gossip sucks. But talk to other people about the problems you have with them. Good, I love it. Uh, have you ever had a conflict that has ended in a like ended friendship?
No.
That's awesome.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, of course I've had conflicts with my friends, but no, nope. I hold my friends like very close to me. Um, and nope, I don't think I don't think any of us would let that happen.
Hmm.
I don't think, and a lot of us have been roommates. So,
Hmm.
yeah, and you don't, oh man, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Um,
What are you saying? Tell me about it.
oh, so it took me a long time to learn. Um, but I am a true introvert at heart, and I like very much need my space, especially nothing. I very much need my space. So I and like living with people who aren't Jordan, like having other roommates always was just such a strain on our friendship. And so like that's where most of my conflicts with my friends, that's where it's come from, is like we've all lived together various points. Um and but we never ever let that end a friendship. Absolutely not. But like it did take me a long time of having a lot of roommates to learn that I am definitely a person who um like I'm an introvert. Like I need it to be my space a little bit. So But no, never had a conflict end a friendship.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's another. Well, I don't know how rare it is because I level with you. I live with one of my best friends right now. He's gonna be my best man at my wedding, and I've
Oh,
lived
that's
with
nice.
him. In This is the third house him and I have lived in together, and
Wow.
yeah, but I've heard people say, I was like, don't move in with your best friend. Like literally, they were like, um, it's like everyone's advice to an 18-year-old is don't move in with your best friend because it's like you start learning more about that person than you want to or whatever. It was like, I mean, it's just like I don't know, like I love Ibby, like that's my dude. You know what I mean? So I don't. Maybe you and I are odd exceptions in that area, but I don't think it's. I think what you're saying is part of the success is based off of learning the boundaries,
Mhm.
right? And so yeah. I'm actually like I'm so excited to get married, but I'm gonna miss living with Ibby, you know. So it's that's gonna be a weird thing. But um, so tell me a little bit about your friend group then. Just keeping it in your realm of comfortability to talk about like what's y'all's vibe. I mean, how many of there are you, and what do you guys do to stay friends, and how has that affected the way you guys can stay friends now?
I would say my closest, um, the people who I went to college with, I'm still like very close with a couple of them, and we were all in the same friend group. And people drift, and sometimes we go apart, sometimes we come together. But I think, and this also goes like I have a bunch of high school friends as well, and this kind of goes for both groups, where once we see each other, it's like bam, we just pick up right where we left off. I would say I have probably, like, obviously I talk to Jordan every day, but I probably have three other friends from college who I talk to daily, I think. And it's like a lot of it will be us, just checking in on each other, like, every single day, just like seeing how the others are doing. And then, it's about 30% also us just sharing memes, and dog pics, of course,
Yeah.
memes and pet photos. Um, and like that, the relationships I think I have there just feel, um, like I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels so natural. We've just known each other for so long now, and like I said, almost all of us have lived together at some point. Not almost, all of us have lived together at some point, I think. Um, and it's just like the amount of really, really, really silly jokes that we all have together, and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of all meshes, and we just have this. I don't know. I think it's just like pretty chill. It's just pretty chill. Unfortunately, I don't live super close to any of them. Like, no, we're not super far, but we're not super close to um any of them. But we try to see them like maybe once a week or something like that. Maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on how busy people are. Because like work schedules have been insane recently. But yeah, so yeah, I think it just feels like like just kind of natural to be around them
Yeah.
for the most part.
And imagine living in a world like of Discord, like as when like we were like younger. Like I wonder how if Discord was around when we were in college, like what would our friend groups look like now? I wonder.
Mm,
Um like I wonder if we would have been easily
mm,
it would have been easier to maintain some of those friendships that were unfeasible not because we didn't want them around, but it's just like we weren't around. So I wonder what that would look like. Do you think your
yeah.
group would look different if Discord would have come out in college?
No, no. I don't think so, at least. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Um, so that's my house talking to me.
Your
Um,
house talking to you?
yeah, I don't know if you could hear the voice in the background,
Oh
but
no.
it's my house. Okay, good. Oh,
I,
good.
I
Okay.
thought you just had like a crazy moment or something, but
No, no, no. Nope.
okay.
Silly
You're
house.
you're
Okay.
completely here and lucid right now. You're
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Um Well, yeah, great conversation so far. I really appreciate it. That was level 5. Nice job. How you feeling all right?
Thanks.
Doing well?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think I am. Thank
Yeah.
you for asking,
Yeah.
checking in.
Yeah, of
Appreciate it.
course. Of
I do need to
course.
hydrate though, real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Apologize.
Yeah. We're gonna take a second to talk about the 6th level sub challenge because Lucky Wolf has made it to level 6, and that's awesome. So far, our conversation has been great. So something we do on this channel is the 6th level sub challenge, and the way this works is if you are watching this video right now, I just want to take a second to thank you very much for watching this video, and I really hope you've learned a lot from Lucky Wolf about stuff. She shared some really awesome things about. I'm definitely taking a quote away from this as like remembering, life will prepare you. So or however that went. Now I can't remember it, but I'll watch it again in post editing and I'll remember it. But
Yes.
and but if you've made it this far, I really appreciate you. And to show that appreciation, if you are the first person to go into Lucky Wolf's chat after this video drops while she is live and say, I made it to level 6, she will know that is her cue to DM me your name so I can come to her channel and gift you a sub to her channel as just a thank you for making it this far. So first person to do it gets a free sub, and if you are already a sub, you should do it, and I will gift the community a sub in your honor. So again, thank you very much for watching this far. I really appreciate you. But with that being said, Lucky Wolf, are you ready for level 6?
I think so. I think so.
Okay. So level 6. What to ask you? We'll go with this one. What is the most true thing a person can know about themselves?
Whoa. The most true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I don't know exactly what that. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Well, I am just. I'm gonna take it as something really important to know about yourself. Um, I think the truest thing. The truest. Sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the word true
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Well, it's like if I
Um,
just asked you, what's the truest thing about you right now?
the truest thing about me,
What's the most
or like,
undeniably true thing about you?
so. But is that the same as the truest? What's the truest thing to for someone to know about themselves?
Yeah, because
Because
if
like to me that's a trait, or like like something that's true to yourself, like what makes you happy, or like that kind of thing. But like what's the so I feel like that I think that's different than like what is the truest about me right now.
yeah, I guess you could take
If
it.
that makes sense.
It makes sense. I guess you could take it either way you want to approach it on that answer if you want to. But um,
Because I
because like
think.
there's really medial things about like like I could say what's the if I could just say what's something true about you, you just like start listing things like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm in a room right now, I'm in a
yeah,
house right now,
exactly.
or but like
Exactly, yeah.
but what it like so when I think whenever the word becomes truest, like what's the thing that's like it almost adds permanence to it.
hmm
Like you will not you're in a room right now, but you won't always be in this room, but what's something but I don't know. That's just the way my brain would take it. I'm curious to see. I love to hear how you're processing it. So you take it away and answer it the way you feel like you should answer it. Because again, it's the truest thing about you. So whatever your answer is, it would be that thing. So
it is okay. Okay. So it is. Yeah, this one's okay. This was level 6, you said?
yeah, it's level
Wow,
6.
level 6, we jumped. Okay. Um, because I think something, I don't know if it's the truest thing to know, like for an individual to know about themselves. Um, but I think it's like, I think a really important thing to know about yourself is um what makes you happy. And I feel like so if we look at that, um for me, one I think something that has, like various things at various parts of your life will make you happy. But besides pizza, I think something that has always like made me happy is to feel like I am I am working with a purpose. If that like I am working with a purpose.
You're fulfilled.
Like I'm doing something that I feel fulfilled in. Um or I have a hobby that is fulfilling, or like it doesn't have to be what you do for work, but something in my life where I do feel that is quite fulfilling. Um so I think that's how I answer it. I think that's what I'm gonna go with.
Hmm. So what fulfills you lately?
Oh, I think I am genuinely excited to like get up and stream. Like I want to be a better player. I want to be a better streamer, a better content creator, a better person in the community than I was the day before. And I think constantly striving um is so exciting to me to just be better than I was the day before. Like we were talking about regret, and I don't want to think, oh, I wish I had done that. Like, nah, get out there and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's been like really fulfilling.
Did anything fulfill you before you started streaming?
Oh yeah, I would, and this still is. I don't exercise in the same way, but exercise was always very fulfilling. For like before I streamed, um, I was a trainer. So yeah,
Oh,
I would say like exercise um, was always very fulfilling, and now it looks very different for me. I can't even believe I'm saying this right now, but I don't go to the gym anymore. I get my exercise from walking with Jordan and walking with Isley, and we go for hikes, and it's still fulfilling the same way, but it's a different activity, but in the same vein, I would say.
hmm. Do you think there will be something after streaming that will fulfill you, or do you think this is the long-term fulfillment?
Oh, I think this is definitely long-term fulfillment, for sure. But I think there's always, like I said, I get fulfillment from, um, like, from streaming, but I also get it from being outside with, uh, Jordan Isley, and I also get it when, I complete a project in our house, and, so I think there's always going to be other things. Um, but no, I see this, I feel like so incredible. Like there aren't even words for how fortunate I feel to even be able to say that I feel like streaming can be long term for me. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I feel so genuinely feel lucky to be able to say that. But yeah, I do think it will be long term for sure.
Lucky Wolf. There it is. Um yeah, so fulfillment is an interesting thought. I my fiance talks to me about this all the time because she thinks, and I think she's right, but I don't like to address it. But it's I think I do a whole lot of different things right now, and not all of them bring me to fulfillment, and but a lot of them have to be done, and it's really hard to identify the thing, which is like super awesome to hear you say something like, I wake up in the morning and I'm excited to stream. Like that's like awesome because I really want to be like a full-time content creator too. Um, but in this last couple of weeks, since I've been so busy and worn out, I've like opted out to not stream that night so I can, because I'm like you, I'm super introverted and socializing takes a lot of energy out of me, and especially on a stream level. Um, I'm
Mhm.
sure you feel that. Yeah, it's like it's putting on the face to not just putting on the face, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm not who I am when I'm streaming, but it's the um being the right kind of person for stream, like saying like uh accessing the part of me that is an active listener, a compassionate person, a you know, all these things is really
An
hard.
entertainer and
Yeah, an
funny
entertainer.
and
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, it's tough. And so to be in a position where it fulfills you is great. I'm glad that's where you are because you're great at it. You're really good. You're a really good
Thank you.
content creator. I love watching your battles whenever I can. Um, and I like that you stream when you do because I usually like lurk while I'm at work and like watch your like VGC stuff. So it's fun. But um, I yeah. So what do you think when we're talking about fulfillment? We're in a generation now where you know, like the millennials pursued fulfillment like over security, I guess you would say. Like um like it feels like the other generations looking in,
Like older or younger or both.
probably older,
Okay.
younger, but it does seem like the trend of the younger like are gonna align with the older. Like we're gonna be like the millennials are gonna be this like weird little gap where like this was like this essence of thought that only happened in this time period. But I'm not sure how that's gonna like break down, if that's gonna be true or not. I'm just the Zoomers are having more traits of the boomers than the millennials is the theory right now. But it's like this idea like someone looking from the outside in and seeing someone chase fulfillment instead of chasing like job security or something,
Mhm,
and which is
mhm.
like not to say that's what you are doing right now because you're partnered on Twitch. It's very clear that you could keep growing and make this into a thing. Making partner on Twitch is like hard. So like the fact, you know, the fact that you did it shows that you have like what it takes to like potentially make a career out of this for like you said, like as you said, long-term fulfillment and kind of thing. Whereas uh you know, the other generations looking in would look at you and be like, you should have just kept being a trainer. You were make you know, that is like a whole lot more secure than this weird internet thing that we don't know about. Like how do you feel like um like how would you explain your fulfillment and to a different generation? Like how would you try to like help them understand the importance of what you do, and you know what I mean, for you?
So I think that's actually really interesting. Like what you said, because so I again am well. I mean, I started streaming because my gym shut down. Um, you know, for the pandemic, and so that's when I started streaming. And then I see it's odd to hear you say that only because again I feel so incredibly I have said this word so many times it has no meaning anymore. I feel so incredibly like lucky because um the like my parents and my aunt and uncles and like my parents' friends, like anyone of an older generation um who hear what I do um like are just especially my parents and my aunts and uncles, and I'm really close to my aunts and uncles, have been so, like are so supportive of it, and even and they're and to watch them learn about Twitch and about content creation
Yeah,
and even about
yeah.
Instagram and Twitter. Oh my gosh, it is so fun. It is wonderful. And to hear them say, because like for a long time, the difference between like a follower and a subscriber on Twitch was like a little bit more of a difficult concept. And so to hear, and then they, one day we were just talking. They always ask me how streaming is and stuff. And like that's why I couldn't talk yesterday because I was FaceTiming with them. Because unfortunately I don't live close to them anymore. But we FaceTime a bunch.
Which I
But
love that you prioritize that, by the way. That was really awesome.
oh,
Yeah.
thank
So
you. Yeah, they're amazing, and so I love our FaceTimes and everything. And we try to do it once, maybe twice a week, depending on the week. But yeah, like you know they were just throwing around all this. All of a sudden, we were talking. I didn't even realize it happened. All of a sudden, we were talking. They're just throwing around all this lingo properly, by the way, like follows and Twitch and
I
streaming and going live and subs and like all this kind of stuff. I'm like, whoa, you guys are doing. Um, so so I don't like. I think maybe it's because it's I'm interacting with all people who want me to be fulfilled and have lived through wanting to be fulfilled as well, but I never felt like I ever had to really honestly explain it to them. I think that like they just understood that this is what I want to do, and I it's hard work, and but it's what I wanted to do, and I think that they really support me. They never told me once to, maybe think about either going back to the gym or, getting a different job or like looking for something else to do. It really I don't even know if it crossed their mind. Uh so because I think they see how much I do enjoy it. So I don't know. That's not a really good question. Not really, sorry, not really a good answer to your question. Um,
No,
but
it is good. It is a good answer. Because it's insightful to hear, and I think that'll be valuable for people to hear that like, because what you just told me is that the people who truly love you want you to be fulfilled. So,
mhm,
and I mean, you didn't say that word for word, but that's what you like described just now.
yeah,
And so it's I think that's important for people to know. Like I said, people look up to streamers, and like a lot of people are unfortunately learning life lessons from streamers. Um well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I mean unfortunately in a way of like um I don't know like a nice way to say this. Sorry, I'm not very tactful. So I have to like
no, no,
I have to work really hard to think of the right thing. Um it's unfortunate when you know someone has to learn a lesson like in you're fine online, because it's like they're not in the situations often enough to learn these lessons like in person, because a lot of these are like really important things to learn in person. But this particular thing uh translates to everywhere. This particular thing is people that love you will want you to be fulfilled,
mhm,
and
yeah,
I think that's a really really valuable thing to talk about, to say. So I appreciate your answer. It was not a bad
oh,
answer.
thank you,
It was a good
thank you,
answer.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, that is level 6. That was good. That was a good answer. We defined
Thanks.
truest. Well,
Yeah.
well, we attempted to define truest. So, which is this has been such a pleasant conversation. Like Lucky Wolf, you are so thoughtful in your processing of the questions, and I find that really like really does feel like a very insightful conversation because of how hard you're thinking about the question. So I really appreciate that.
Oh,
Um,
well, thank you very much for saying that. Um I appreciate you saying that. I think like, because I talked about this, like I talk about this on stream and sometimes, but I have learning differences. And so I think so that I don't get overwhelmed, it's, something that I was taught, something I figured out, was, just break down the question. Just break down the question and be thoughtful so that way my mind doesn't go about 3 steps ahead of where my mouth is talking and everything like that. So I'm very happy to hear that it's working out at least slightly today.
it is working out very well for you today.
Good.
Um, I would love to talk to you about that sometime. That'd be a good conversation to have.
Sure.
Um, so, like, here we are. We're on the last question, level 7.
Let's
Lucky
go.
Wolf,
Well, we met.
he made it to the
Okay.
last one, and this is my reoccurring question for season 2. You're going to be the second person to have answered this question. I thought it would be a good idea to ask everyone the same question at least once through, um uh just to see how the varying ranges of processing can attempt it. And it's so fun. I did it the first season, and like people took it every which way, and it ended up being like a really cool thing. So I'm excited. I don't know if this question is going to be as good as my first season question was, but I think it might. But The season 2 level 7 question for everybody is,
Mhm.
how do you handle things that you can't control?
Things of all sorts, good, bad, in between.
Uh, yeah, but I imagine if a good thing were to happen, you probably wouldn't have to handle it. But
I
uh,
think it could still be overwhelming, perhaps, but yes,
oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right. I
that
didn't
is
think about
true.
that. Yeah. So yeah, like, what do you do about the things that you really can't control?
That's I wish. So this honestly, it's something I am still. It's something I still very much am working out. Um, how to deal with things that I can't control. Um, and so I think that I think it really comes down to, so if it's something that is bad, that is happening that I can't control. Um, I think it's like that thing that I can't control. At least what I'm trying to work on is like, one, how is it making me feeling? How is it making me feel? Sorry, there it is. How is it making me feel? And then two, if it's making me feel anxious or if it's making me feel overwhelmed or anything like that, then okay, so one, I identified this thing that I can't control is making me anxious. What I can control is how I deal with my anxiety. So I think it's like pinpointing, okay, I feel anxious, so what am I going to do? I don't, I don't know what this thing is that I can't control, but I'm going to put down my phone. I'm going to read, or I am going to journal about, I know it sounds silly, but like, I'm going to journal about how I'm feeling. Or I am going to, I think one of the big things is I'm going to talk to Jordan, or I'm going to talk to my parents, or I'm talking to my cousin who I'm like close with, like I'm feeling anxious, so let me talk about why I'm feeling anxious. Well, I know I can't do anything about it because it's out of my control, but maybe talking it out and having someone say, oh, like, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. Like, here is maybe some things that I would do in situation, like anything like that. So like talking it out, I think is like I said before, I just think talking it out is a huge one. If you can't do that, then again, writing it out. You're like having a conversation with yourself, so you can write it out. Things, I think, like various things like that. But honestly, like, that is, I am saying these things, and it is so much easier said than done. First you have to identify how you're feeling, then how can you somehow combat these feelings. I still struggle with it. I genuinely still struggle with it very, very, very often. That's a tough question. That's a really tough question.
It is
But I
level
think
7.
that is, yeah, and I'm feeling level 7 heat right now. Um, but yeah, um, I think those are like kind of the various ways, especially if it's something that is making me feel anxious or overwhelmed in some way. Um, I just try to break down. I try to like break down those feelings and see if there's something that I can do to somehow combat them. But again, like, I am saying these words, and when you are feeling anxious due to something you can't control, it's very tough to deal with. Very tough to deal with. But I think that's what I am trying to do. I'll say that.
um yeah, I think a really, really cool thing that you said, or that you've said this whole time, really, like, that I've seen that this is very core to you, is have systems for things. Like, even it's a good way to, because emotions aren't uh logical, they're responsive. So it's like, it's really important to have a system that keeps things in check. And so having different types of things, like you said, you journal or you read, to help diffuse certain things until you can think about it logically. I think that's a really great thing and a good practice to have. For uh, Like you, I really enjoy physical activity. I I unfortunately have not been to my gym in like 4 weeks, as I've been so stinking busy. But the other day I just had to take a second to just, I have some workout bands here at the house. I just did some band workouts, just I had to.
Mhm.
I was feeling
Yeah.
all types of overwhelmed, and also like my opinion of myself is always lower when I haven't been doing something physical. I'm there's probably like an unhealthy reason why that is, but for right now, if I do something physical, it just helps it in general. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's my thing that I use to help do that. And I think everyone who hears this thing that you just said should try to identify a thing uh that is constructive to, this is what I tell people this in like in my work from here to there, when I work with teenagers and stuff, and um try to tell them that you need to have something that's constructive and private. It's like privately constructive. So for you, it's journaling, right? You just
Mhm.
said journaling. And like, um, for me, it's lifting. Sometimes I work out with my roommate, but typically I work out by myself.
Mhm.
And I don't know anyone at my gym. I don't make friends at my gym. Um, I don't want to make friends at my gym because I want to go to the gym, put my headphones in, not talk to anyone, and work through the stuff that makes me feel things. And
Mhm.
so I can decide if this is healthy, if it's true, if it's needed, or if just need to move on from it. Uh, yeah, great answer. Great
Oh, thank you.
answer. And with that, Lucky Wolf, you made it. 7 levels. You did
Yo,
it.
thank you for taking me on that journey.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
cow.
what. Can you believe we've been talking for almost an hour and a half? Can you believe that?
It doesn't feel like it at all, honestly. Really doesn't.
Yeah. So, hey, I've had such a wonderful conversation with you, Lucky Wolf. You are a extremely heady person, and that really brought forward a lot of conversation. And so I'm really happy that you came into this interview. Thank you very much. Uh,
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was expertly done. I had a very good time, so thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. So go ahead, take a second, tell the people, what do you got going on coming up? Do you have any new tournaments, or like what are some things that they could come and support you with, or what are things you got coming up?
So, there's actually like the international challenge that's happening right now, but when you see this, it will be, well, it'll be next month. But there's going to be another international challenge next month, which I will definitely be participating in 100%. But I think besides that, just going to be, um, doing some battles on Twitch and hopefully learn a thing or two.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see how good you do. I'm sure you're gonna do
Thank
great.
you.
Um,
Thank you.
well, with that being said, Lucky Wolf, all we have left is saying goodbye. So, goodbye, everybody.